Sony State of Play events have always been a little bit hit or miss, I feel. Some of them have been really solid, some of them not so much. But I was definitely looking forward to today's Sony State of Play presentation. Obviously, we have a State of Play presentation, we have an Indie World presentation coming to us from Nintendo, we have the Game Awards later this week, so it was going to be a very busy week in the world of video game news. But does the PlayStation 4 still have some legs in it? What is 2020 looking like for the PlayStation 4? Is it going to die a quiet death as we move towards the PlayStation 5 and holiday of 2020, or is the PlayStation 4 still alive and viable? That was one of the questions that was going to be answered in today's State of Play event. So I want to give you guys my thoughts on the State of Play event from today. It just wrapped up, and honestly, I was pretty impressed with it. So sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about everything we learned today in the State of Play event. So they like to do little teases at the start of these State of Play events, and there was definitely a little tease with a Resident Evil sound. Now, of course, a lot of rumors were circulating that Resident Evil 3 was going to be unveiled at this State of Play event, a Resident Evil 3 remake, and a lot of people, myself included, were looking forward to it. Considering how damn good Resident Evil 2 ended up coming out, a lot of people were excited for Resident Evil 3, but they actually started out with a pretty interesting announcement, and that is Untitled Goose game is coming to the PlayStation 4 on December 17th. Now, of course, this game was a big hit on the Nintendo Switch, and honestly, I'm cool with it going multi-platform. These indie games, they don't have the big budgets of these other games that you see out there, and obviously, people want to make money on these indie games if at all possible, so the strange success of Untitled Goose game is something that should be enjoyed by everyone. It's already been out on the Nintendo Switch for a few months, so why not let people on other platforms check out this game as well? It looks like it's going to be the exact same game that was unveiled on the Nintendo Switch, but still, I think it's a cool thing. I'm definitely cool with this game going multi-platform, and I think more people should enjoy this game. Then we learned about a new Battle Royale game coming out in 2020 called Spellbreak. Now, unlike most Battle Royale games, it doesn't look like you have guns and things like that in this game, but instead, it's more of based on RPG elements. It's all magic attacks and things like that. Personally, I'm kind of over the whole Battle Royale genre. I've kind of just fell out of love with it. You know, they all sort of starting to feel the same, I feel, but maybe these RPG elements could sort of spruce things up. I think the game looked pretty cool from a graphical standpoint. I don't know if I'll end up playing it or anything like that, but yes, Spellbreak was unveiled during this, a Battle Royale game coming out in 2020. Now, I don't know, maybe it could help out the Battle Royale genre. Next up, we got an update on Dreamz, which is a game where you create your own games. And honestly, I was pretty impressed with the amount of game types that they showed during this event. They showed racing games, they showed platforming games, Endless Runner, they showed a skateboarding game, there was a retro style, Wipeout style games as well, which I thought was really cool. It actually looked like a new Wipeout. It was honestly pretty intense, but I don't know that this is a game that I would want to check out. I would probably want to check this out and just check out other people's creations, as I'm not really a creative person myself. I'm not really good at creating my own games. I tried it back with Fighter Maker on the PlayStation 1, and all I ended up doing was making a kick in a looping motion. I thought I was going to make the next Street Fighter, but of course I did not make the next Street Fighter. But I think Dreamz has a lot of potential, and I think for creative people, they will enjoy this game. Next up, they showed a first-person game called Superliminal, which I believe has released on PC already in the past. I'm pretty sure I've seen people streaming this game before, and honestly, it just looks weird as hell. It's not really my style of game. There's like weird depth perception stuff, and like things grow. I don't know. It's not really my style of game, but maybe some people would be interested in that. They showed off a VR game called Paper Beast, which once again, just not really my style. They said that it has a dynamic ecosystem of Paper Beast, but really this whole game just looked pretty boring to me, moving stuff around. The graphical style of the game wasn't really anything special, I felt. It looked sort of bland. I don't know, it sort of has that pretentious feeling when it comes to video games. I'm sure there'll be some deep narrative of like paper being recyclable or something. I don't know, it just does not look like a game for me. It is also a PlayStation VR game. I never got into the whole VR craze, just not something I'm interested in, but maybe some people will be interested in that. Next up, they showed off a Kingdom Hearts update, which I kind of fell out of love with the Kingdom Hearts series. I used to enjoy them on the PlayStation 2. I remember playing the DS one. That was pretty cool. But they definitely showed a big Kingdom Hearts update that I think fans of the series will enjoy. But one thing I noticed in this update was just how poor the voice acting was. This voice acting was definitely very reminiscent of the PS2 style games. And I'm not saying that in a good way. Like, I don't know, the voice actors just sounded really bored in this. I thought the gameplay itself looked very fun. It looked like something that fans of Kingdom Hearts will enjoy. It's a pretty meaty DLC pack. I believe it was like $30 for this DLC pack. If you want to get like an orchestra version that has like an orchestrated video in it, it's like $40. So obviously Square Enix is banking on this to be somewhat successful. I think fans of Kingdom Hearts will enjoy this, but I don't think it's necessarily going to bring in any new people into the Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, things started to heat up after this though, and the rest of the stuff that they showed during this event was actually very, very cool. They started out with Predator. Now, Predator Hunting Grounds is a game that I'm really looking forward to. It is done by the people that did Friday the 13th. It is 4-on-1 asymmetrical combat in which people are trying to kill you, or you are the predator and you are trying to kill them. It looks like there's NPCs on the map as well. Well, Predator will be coming out on April 24th on the PlayStation 4. So just a few months away, and I'm definitely really looking forward to that game. You can choose different classes and different armors and different weapons for your predator to basically make him the predator, and you hunt down these people and try to kill these people. I will say it is kind of strange though that they didn't really delve deep into the gameplay aspect of it. They showed pretty much what the predator does, but they didn't really show what the human characters are going to be doing in this game. And I think that's important because you have a higher chance of being a human character in this game than you do necessarily of being the predator. I think the visual style of the game is really nice though. I think they did a pretty good job of capturing that predator essence. It looks like it's very fast paced as well. So definitely something I'm looking forward to. Like I said, this game will be coming out on April 24th, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. They also showed off a new combination game between Square Enix and Platinum called Babylon Falls. The gameplay looks like classic Platinum gameplay. Hack and slash, big attacks, big battles that you're doing and stuff like that. But I do think the aesthetic of the game was a little bit bland. They only showed a couple different areas, and all the areas sort of just looked the same. I hope there's more variety in the areas that you visit in, because at all you just sort of use the same color palette. I do think the game has a lot of potential. It's clear that this game is probably pretty early in development. This is actually the first I've heard of it. I don't know if this was a new announcement or if this is just an update to a previous announcement, but I do think the game has potential. They definitely need to sort of spruce up the graphics though, and just have a little bit more variety in the areas that you're going into. And then they said that they had an announcement on Project Resistance, which of course is the asymmetrical game set in the style of the Resident Evil universe. This was unveiled a couple months ago. It looks kind of cool. I definitely think it has potential, and they said, okay, well now we're going to talk about the single player campaign. And then the single player campaign ended up being the Resident Evil 3 remake. They showed a bunch of footage from this, and it just looks absolutely awesome. I cannot wait for this Resident Evil 3 remake. And the crazy thing is, we don't have to wait very long. This game will be coming out on April 3rd. So this game is coming out on April 3rd. Predator is coming out on April 24th. They showed off a lot of new environments and redone environments. The game just looks absolutely phenomenal. And what's really cool is that Project Resistance is actually going to be an online multiplayer component that's going to be included in Resident Evil 3. So this will not be its own separate game. This will actually be included in Resident Evil 3. So you get the full Resident Evil 3 campaign plus this online multiplayer thing, which is just an absolutely crazy good value. When you look at how successful Resident Evil 2 was, this game I think is actually going to be more successful because of the fact that it has an online multiplayer component. Everything they showed from the Resident Evil 3 remake looks absolutely fantastic, and I just cannot wait to get my hands on this. And then they sort of wrap things up. They showed a little presentation for the 25th anniversary of PlayStation, which of course just happened with them thanking the PlayStation fans. And then there was a Ghost of Tsushima update. Now, Ghost of Tsushima is a game that a lot of people are expecting could be a multi-platform release both on the PS4 and the PS5. They showed a little teaser trailer. I don't know, like it wasn't that big of a deal. deal to me. They said that the rest of the teaser trailer would be unveiled at the Game Awards later on this week in just a mere few days, which is like part 2 of this teaser trailer. I don't think they really needed to end on Ghost of Tsushima. I think they should have just ended on the Resident Evil 3 remake because that was the biggest thing of this presentation. But overall, I thought this was a really solid presentation. There was definitely some things that were not for me. I thought the pacing of it was really well done. They definitely have that Nintendo Direct style done where it's very snappy. The whole presentation was about 22 minutes long, but we definitely learned about a lot of stuff. We learned about new games. We got the Resident Evil 3 announcement. We got an update on Predator. So because of that, I was very satisfied with this State of Play event. I thought it was one of their best State of Play events to date. There was enough surprises and enough cool stuff here to make it something that I think really stands out. I cannot wait for April now. April is quickly heating up to be a very crazy month in the world of video games with both Predator and Resident Evil 3 coming out, and it's great to see Resident Evil 3 is coming out very soon. Of course, Resident Evil 2's remake released early this year in 2019, so it's great to see that not a whole lot of time is going to go between Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3. So overall, very satisfied with this event. I was definitely very happy with this event, and it was a great way to start out the day. Like, I totally do not regret waking up early because there was enough stuff in here to make me very excited. So let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of Sony's State of Play event. Did you enjoy some of these games here? What were the games you enjoyed? What do you think about this Resident Evil 3 update? Because wow, this game just looks freaking awesome. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Be sure to check out other videos on the channel. Like I said, I will be coming back later on today to talk about the Indie World presentation from Nintendo. I definitely think State of Play set a pretty high benchmark, and while the Indie World presentation is just going to be indie games, of course, I think Nintendo is going to bring the goods. And as always, guys, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.